Hello, I'm Valerie McLennan. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. I hope you're well. This is my spiritual channel, Valerie Mac, Scottish, spiritual, and very funny, allegedly. Now, if you've been following me a while, you're bound to know by now the delivery style, the topics I cover, etc. Because I have been doing this now for about 2 years, approximately, give or take a day or two. If you're a new listener, it's easy for you to say, please keep listening, and may I ask you to revert back to previous podcasts to give you an idea, as I just said, of my delivery style and the topics that I cover. Spirituality is the top, spiritual and funny. I combine humour because I believe we're on Earth. If I wasn't given a sense of humour in my toolbox from my creator, I wouldn't be able to use any humour. I feel too many people are serious about everything, and now this is where I'm going at this moment. There's always a thread. I may take the scenic route just really to confirm that I have your attention. If I gave you all the important bits at the beginning, your mind may drift. No, I tell a little story, and I keep you listening. I do. It's my plan, my intention. And then just at the end, 15 minutes, I will give you the punchline. I will. Now, today I was thinking, I think of this many days, but today in particular, the different characters that we're meeting on Earth. Now, some of you, as I said, if you've been following me a while, you might be slightly repetitive because we're living in a world and, situations will occur where I may have to repeat myself to make a point. All of the different characters that we meet on Earth, especially when you're on a spiritual path. That's what I keep saying. You may, even if you're not on the path, we'll meet all different types of characters. It's how we manage them that's going to get us through this, or reasonably sane, or wherever. Now, we all know people who are very angry a lot of the time. I've met them, I've heard them when I speak to them. They'll actually say it, they'll say it to you when they're speaking. I'm very, very angry. I'm holding on to something. I'm so angry from today. No, for years ago. And you're thinking, so people are going around there. Sounds funny. Imagine what their health is like. Will you keep your anger and you just sit over there? I've had people start conversations with me not that long ago. And that was the way the conversation started. Somebody I hadn't spoken to for a long time, years. And the sentence started, I'm very, very angry. Now, keep in mind the work that I'm doing. Keep in mind the work I'm trying to do in my world for myself. The last thing I want is someone opening a conversation with, I'm very, very angry. And I thought, well, you be angry over there, and I will be over here. Now, my point being, if we keep accepting other people's anger that they're not wanting to do anything about, and they're quite proud of announcing that they're angry, I wouldn't mind somebody saying I'm angry if they were willing to do something about it, not go through your whole life, flipping heck, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 80s, still going, I'm very angry. Well, either do something about it or not. But I have no intentions of carrying that toxicity into my world. I'm going somewhere with this. If you're on a spiritual path, your entire mind is trying to keep it under control, keep on the path and stick with what you believe in. As I said, I've been manoeuvred off my own path many times over the years, quite a few years ago now, because I won't allow it, through other people. Now, I keep stressing this because I meet so many people who are quite fine, thank you very much, in their own world. Other people but they're allowing other people's anger and other people's criticism to be part of their world. Now, as I keep repeating, why? You will not change other people on earth. You have the power to change your own life and not allow it into your world. This is where the strength comes in, and in spiritual laws, personal responsibility is one of the main keys. If you are going through your life and you're also saying, honestly, see the people around me that are so full of anger and resentment, how long for? An hour? No, years. Now, you're not going to change them. They don't want to change. But you have the power not to listen and not to let that absorb into your being. If you could actually physically with your eyes see the damage that that's doing or potentially doing to your health, you would not allow it for another second, minute, day, anything. You would stop that immediately, because the negativity coming off that energy is not just staying with the angry, bitter person, it's coming into your world if you allow it. As I said, not that long ago, maybe a year or so ago, that was the way the conversation started, and I hadn't spoken to this person, and it just started off with, and I thought, this is the way this conversation is going to be, because this person and that circle of people walk about angry and bitter all through their life. So I just went, oh, thank you very much, but I decline. For my health and my sanity. Now, there's a point to this. I meet so many people, as I said, on the spiritual path, and one of the it's not even an excuse. Well, I call it an excuse just to annoy them. It is an roundabout way. It is an excuse. They might say, well, I could do this if I was alone on my earth, but I've got so many annoying people around me. How do you think I'm any different because I'm on this path? I just don't allow annoying people to affect my life. Thanking you. Now, the other point, on the flip side of this, what I'm trying to say is, now this is my belief only, and I'm generalising as I always do. I personally believe when we come into Earth as a baby, and then we're going all through our life until we leave Earth, there are certain characters and people. Now, this is honestly my true belief. There are certain characters and people who will come into our life. And it's not a lesson. I don't believe we're getting taught as a lesson. There's nothing that, but I believe there's maybe parts of our character, how can I put this nicely, that might need a slight improvement. Not you, nor I. We all know we're perfect. Seriously, there's maybe part, and that's why, are you sitting down? Have you got a cup of tea? Thank you. Cup of tea. I don't know what accent that was either. If you're sitting down, and sit down and just concentrate and think of the people that are around you. What type of characters really annoy you? Or as they say, get on my last nerve. What type of characters? And then look at why. Why do those particular characters ruffle your feathers? And if you think back, maybe a day, a week, an hour, a year, even into your younger years, there'll be something similar that happened in your life, but that similar type of character. And say, even go back to the angry person, say you were growing up and you were in an atmosphere where even parents or anyone around you in your circle was constantly angry and caused this kind of fear or anxiety or anger, that type of toxic situation, you'll find generally in your life that you cannot act, you can't just deal with or face anger in any form. So you'll avoid it. Now, the best thing to do, anything you avoid, if instead of trying to heal, will keep showing up, sadly, in your life until you manage to heal it within. Now, I'm only talking, even if you just think, what is it? Why is it I don't like anger? Why is it I don't like this? Why is it I don't like that type of character? What kind of character is that? So now, go right back into your younger you. You'll find it. Some people, you don't even have to look that far. There's something, and it's like a trigger point. If you just sort it out in your own mind, that instead of magnifying that in your mind, you put it down and think, well, wasn't nice, wasn't pleasant. I'm on a different page today. I moved on. I may be weeks ahead. I may be years ahead. That's in the past. Now, the past doesn't exist anymore. Even that sentence doesn't exist anymore. I've just said it and it's gone. It only exists in your mind if you keep bringing it back up. The longer you live in toxic or fear or panic and you keep bringing up those people, any character you'll meet in your life has a potential of stealing your peace. You see what I mean? So until you manage to heal it within yourself and think, right, this is like a trigger to me and I really don't like it, just sit. You won't have to sit that long and just think, where is that coming from? Most people that I speak to know immediately. They're very well aware of where it's coming from. So all you need to do is think, right, that happened in the past. I'm dealing with it now. I forgive it. It's not easy to do. I forgive it and I'm moving on. The minute you forgive it, it loses its power. And you'll find that the people and the characters who were really annoying you or getting on your last nerve no longer have power. If you don't heal it and you don't forgive it and you don't move on, you're allowing those people, the characters that you really don't like, to have power in your life, because subconsciously you're thinking, see if even it was in the workplace, see if it wasn't for that person, I'd be in heaven. You wouldn't be in heaven, because what would happen is someone with the very same, they might get rid of them and the next person will come along and have the exact same character. You will. It's not for spite. It's not to annoy you. It's like a mirror. If you look in those characters as a mirror and you think they've been shown to you like a mirror in your life to reflect it back to you, to show you parts of your character that you need to heal. That's all it is. It's not a big scary boohoo thingy. boohoo thingy. I don't even know what that means either, but you do. You know what I meant. The more power that you give any fearful situation, whether it's something like I'm only saying workplace because sometimes that's, if it's other circumstances, you can walk away. Pretty difficult in the workplace. But people have said to me, oh no, you've done that in the past, and the person that they thought was really the trigger point left. Whatever. And someone else, you won't believe this. What? The same kind of person came in. It's a conspiracy. Another annoying one. It's because it's within you. I'm sorry to tell you. You're handing your power into that situation. So anyone that's coming back in, so then, see if you look at the next person and you go, oh, for goodness sake, they left and I've got another one. If you just say to yourself, I forgive that in the past, I forgive whatever that was, that nightmare situation, all the horrible things that were said, and in your mind, forgive it, you'll notice that nobody who comes into your life ever again has that power, unless you allow it. This is the key, unless you allow it to keep handing it over the power. Now, I don't look at anything in life as a lesson, but I do believe there's situations mirrored back to us to show us different situations, to heal ourselves, to make this journey more pleasant. I'm very well aware of a lot of people on this earth, sadly, who are miserable for one way or another. They're in this situation, I won't be specific, but they're in this situation, don't like it, feel they can't change it. They're in this situation, even younger people, from middle-aged to older, they feel this is it, this is the cards I'm dealt. Hey-ho, here it is. What age is well, stumble through another day. Listen, each and every morning you waking up has the potential to be a brand new page in a book. A book. If you don't turn the new page in your book, that's not my fault. It's not the other person's fault. It is up to you. Every day on earth, you're getting a brand new chance to move from all that stuff. But I'll tell you something, you'll be surprised how many people are comfortable in that complaining, toxic situation that they keep talking about. Now, it's like that expression, what's that thing about a dog sitting on a nail and it won't get off? And you're like, well, get off it then. Well, it's the same with human beings. They will moan, they will complain, they'll always criticise, there'll be something wrong with everyone, they'll be looking at you, looking at me, tearing us to bits. I know people like that. Tear you to bits, tear you to shreds. I see this, see that, see this. Now, there's people do that for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. They have no intention of stopping until they reach their last gasp. And even with the last gasp, they'll probably give an insult. I know. Do you know people like that? I know. Probably with the last gasp, I never liked you anyway. Do you know, now, I had this conversation recently with someone, and it reminds me of when you're young. Do you know when you're young and somebody says, don't like you? Anyway, I doubly don't like you. I've never liked you. And then they'll say, well, I never liked you either. I'll know I won't like you until I leave this earth. I know. Now, you expect, a wee bit of banter when you're younger. There are people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, not quite in those words, but they're carrying that same attitude. I will look at someone, I will pick out all their faults, I will, I won't give anyone a chance. No. And then you think, excuse me. Now, it's quite funny, because of the spiritual work, I'm very well aware of mirror work. You call it mirror. Do you know how you often hear, you must have heard this before, someone that's always criticising, and you're looking at them thinking, really? Into yourself? Because you think, can't really say that out loud, because that'll be another trigger, no doubt. So you're kind of looking and you're hearing, and you're thinking, well, you hear the expression, you ever thought of turning the mirror around? So the anger, if you don't have all that anger, resentment within, it can't come out. It's not rocket science. If you're not carrying all that anger and bitterness in your heart and soul, you can't speak it out because it's not in there to come out. Do you know what I mean? Don't know what I mean? But people have talked about other people. Do you notice other people say, I see this, and they're so angry, and they're so this, and they're so that, and you're thinking, excuse me. In the spiritual world, if you don't have that yourself within, you wouldn't be able to speak it out. It's quite simple. Earth is so simple. Yet, I know, because when you're on this path and you're listening to people, you go, goodness sake, would a compliment? Don't suppose a compliment could fall out of those words if I wait long enough. I know. My point being, there are so many people on earth who, they don't look at the opportunity. When you're waking up tomorrow morning, you could say to yourself, this is a brand new day, a brand new page. The past only exists in my mind if I keep rehashing it and rethinking it. The future's not here. The future's not here yet. So the words I'm speaking now are in the past. Now, You can't, if I'm going to keep going back 10, 20, 30 years, you're going to remain stuck forever. There's people in work, people in relationships, people in here, people in there, people in that, and they feel they've made their choice. You know that thing, you made your bed, so lie on it. Now, who came up with that one? Do tell. I know. Somebody's granny 1,000 years ago. But so many people live their life thinking, I made my bed, need to lie on it. I said that to somebody, it was about a year ago. I said, wait, why was somebody in a situation somebody was in, they were talking, blah, blah, blah. And they kept saying that. Well, what's it about? I said, who told you? I know. Ended up, we had a laugh, 15 minutes. We ended up, we had a laugh because they realised they were chanting this thing that somebody had said, like a great-grandmother about 5,000 years ago. So anyway, they had taken it into their psyche, and the person, I nearly said the person, I won't say male, female, whatever it was somebody, a human being, realised that they did have a choice, and they do have a new chapter every day, as do you. You don't have to live with all those old sayings in your head. Thanking you, 15 minutes, no problem. I'm away. Thanking you very much. Take care. Bye for now.